Please introduce yourself.
My name is Chaz Miller, C-H-A-Z-Z-M-I-L-L-E-R.
All right, you're one of the most creative people I know. So please define what you do with your paints, colors, drawing, and everything.
Well, what I do is I try to manifest things that excite me, things that inspire me, and take them and put them in such a way that hopefully will enlighten the viewer and challenge the viewer to stop looking and start seeing.
Okay, now that is already so philosophical, my brother. How did you start doing this whole thing?
Well, it was just in me, man. You know, Mike Tyson was born to box. You know, Prince was born to jam. I was born to create and paint and make stuff. I'm a maker. Ever since I was a kid, I would just make. You know, I didn't care whether it was old, toilet paper tubes or even wet toilet paper that you took and sculpted into little animals or whatever I had available. I would just like making things. And then over the years, I realized that everything had to be made by someone so you could have a career as a maker, as an artist.
Okay, now as an artist, do you remember the first painting or picture you sold?
Actually, the first thing that I sold wasn't a painting. It was actually a piece of commercial art at Providence Hospital. I did a safety awareness poster, and they paid me $50 when I was probably about 15 years old, and it just blew my mind.
Okay, and then from there, I know you've been committed to getting it off the ground.
Well, it's actually, yeah, and they actually gave me a steady work. I started doing safety and different posters for the hospital. My mother worked there, so it was good nepotism. Mm-hmm. And she made sure that they paid me, you know, $25, $20, but it became regular work, which was cool. About once a month, I did 2 or 3 posters. And, you know, for a 15, 16-year-old, that's like pretty cool, especially when you know you got that to look forward to every month, you know. And then from there, man, it was just, teachers, mentors, and that's the key. That's why I'm passionate about mentoring and teaching. And I had a particular teacher in high school. I was able to go to the first vocational school, which was Crockett, when they first started bring vocational schools back. Hey, everybody's not meant to academically, you know. So I went to Crockett, and it just turned me on to the fact that you can get a scholarship as an artist. All my friends were getting basketball scholarships, football scholarships. I didn't realize you could get a scholarship for art. And that just blew my mind. So I was able to get a 4-year scholarship to the Columbus College of Art and Design, and it just never looked back.
Okay, what did you do at Columbus Art and Design?
Studied illustration and advertising.
Okay, so what type of impact does that have on what you're doing now?
Well, I mean, it teaches you, you know, you learn how to market your work. You know, somebody told me once, I don't care how good your potato chip is, I'm not going to pick it up off the ground and eat it. So, you know, your music can be great, but you got to package it, you got to put it on the shelf, and you got to let people know about it. And that's what I learned from all of that. So with having the talent and combined with the art education really makes me a force to deal with. And it's been able to, you know, I've been able to make a living at it ever since.
Okay, how long you been doing this?
All my life. Like I said, when I was 14, I started doing work for the hospital and just never looked back. Okay,
so now with this, what type of impact do you think Detroit has had on your artistry?
It's the reason I'm who I am, from the funk to the Motown to the blues to the gospel, you know, to the church influence from my mother and father in the church. You know, Detroit just being, you know, I always said Detroit was really competitive because you had so many people migrating from all over the United States, and everybody was trying to say, you know, people from Mississippi are stronger, people from, you know, Chicago make the best barbecue. It was always something, so that we've always had that competitive edge in Detroit. And I'm talking about from sports to, so even in art, where I went to school, it was just competitive. I mean, in the 3rd grade, I won my first art contest, and it was like so competitive that it just made me want to be the best at what I did. And then, you know, parents always taught me, no matter what you do, we support you, just be the best at it.
Okay, now what high school did you go to?
I studied at Southwestern High School.
Okay, now you were there, and then there was another great guy within artistry that you still work with. Kevin Hansen was in that same neighborhood. So what was that like, that synergy, as Hansen and Charles Johansson Art Gallery has been, and no longer, but it's going to get started again, a staple in Detroit art. What was that like, just building and seeing so many of those artists populate? As I've interviewed Jocelyn Rainey too, and the Del Pryor Gallery. It's like a black synergy of art and artists that exists in the city of Detroit.
Yeah, but we need some unity within that synergy, and it's awesome. I mean, to see all the individuals and thriving, but as a collective, I think we still got a lot of work to do. But individually, yeah, I mean, it's a blast. I mean, to see people fulfilling their dreams and to have that creative freedom to work with people that get it. So, I mean, yeah, it's just gets exciting. It's just, you know, how do you keep it going? How do you keep it going for the next generation? That only comes through synergy and unity and then ownership. You know, these places that we get, we need to own them so we can keep it going.
So, what are you working on now?
Right now, we're sitting in the wonderful International Institute of Metropolitan Detroit, which is 97 years old. And my plans are to create a mural on the side of that's the west-facing wall, facing Woodward, the largest selfie mural ever. It's a combined digital and hand-painted mural that tells the history of immigration through 10 major milestones as it relates to Detroit. Also, we'll be doing classes at the International Institute for both youth and adult, from learning how to work with color pencils to watercolor to basic design skills, ultimately taking the youth into basics of art and manufacturing as it relates to 3D printing.
Okay, 3D printing is something that's real unique right now. There's a lot of people are talking about that. How did you start getting into it?
Well, I just always love, you know, technology, science fiction, and you know, just always just trying to stay on the cutting edge, man. You know, I've been watching it grow, you know, pretty much since its inception, you know, about 10, you know, I mean, it's been around for a long time, but it really just hit the mainstream about 10 years ago with the rip wrap and some of those other basic, you know, homemade 3D printers, but now it's going to a whole nother level. So it's very important that we teach our youth to go over and beyond what we learned and the way we thought about science, art, and technology and combining them. I mean, hence that's why we got this STEM technology thing, because it's really all connected. You know, you say you might want to specialize, but ultimately, you know, it's all connected, and you're going to have to work, if you're a designer, you're going to have to work with architects, engineers, and so on and so forth. So to understand a little better about, you know, what the videographer does, what the designer does, helps us design and work our projects, I think, more efficiently.
Okay, now, you're also a person, as you talk about International Institute, you're an international artist. You've been places, you've traveled places, you know a lot of different people. So who are some of those people you're looking to bring into some of these projects to Detroit from out of town coming up soon?
Well, we would love to do some concerts down at the International Institute with Kari Frazier. Music and art have always been a combination. But my thing is really seeing a strong coalition of black artists in Detroit. I don't know whether we need to form some kind of union or something, but really, it's time that dialogue starts. And I think you would be the man to really catalyze all that. I think we need to get all these Dobbles, everybody who's Malik, all these top black people that I'm seeing on Facebook, we need to get them all in one room, and we need to lay out a 5-year plan and stop playing, because that's what they are doing. That's what they have done.
Okay, well, I like that idea. So if people want to get in contact with you, how do they do it?
Well, obviously, there's a Facebook, Chaz Original Facebook. There's a 1millionselfiemural.com website that has all of the links to everything, Pinterest. So if you want to submit a selfie for the project, and there's links to the artwork and the images, and or you can just call me, 313-633-6051. My phone lines are always open for you.
Thank you so much, Chaz Miller.
One love.